The wind swept warmly around me as I stared down at the fluttering white dress that scantily clung to my curves. My wrists were free from the constraints of the bracelet. Beneath me, soft grass caressed the underside of my feet. The world around me was vibrant and wild, colors that I had never seen within the confines of my human brain. Well, unless I counted that one night in college, but that was technically chemically induced. "Come on," a solid, sensual voice whispered to me. My eyes rose, finding 2 bare feet hovering just above the ground. As I slowly devoured the tight leather pants leading up to the muscular, glistening, shirtless torso in front of me, I fanned myself. There he was, in all his sexy, emo, witchy man glory. Shade's mouth was upturned in a huge toothpaste commercial-worthy smile, and I sighed dramatically, having my first ever swooning moment. He hovered there on his expertly crafted, intricately carved broomstick. Sure, it was a stereotype, and I was pretty sure that had it been the real world and not my dream, Shade would have been pretty pissed at the idea of himself on a broomstick. But it was my dream, and I wasn't about to change it and risk waking myself up. "Hop on. We'll go for a ride." I swooned even harder at the sound of his voice and reached out to take his hand. It was warm and smooth, and I bit my bottom lip as my far perkier than real-life breasts pushed against the satin of my dress. As I stepped forward and my eyes met his, he opened his mouth to grace me yet again with that low, seductive rumble. But that was not at all what I got. Instead of his voice, the sound of a deep, gurgling snore came from his throat. Instantly, I pulled my hands into tight fists and clenched my eyes shut. "No, no, no. Do not wake up. Do not wake up." I opened one eye and then the other, staring at Shade's hot, chiseled body with my basset hound's head replacing his beautiful face. He snorted as a long string of spit dripped from the corner of his sloppy jowls. My arms fell to my sides, defeated, and I let out a long, unhappy breath. Damn it. For the first time since Shade had left, I had a dream about something other than creepy monsters coming after me or my bracelet taking over my whole body. For the first time in weeks, I wasn't waking up in a tired sweat, unsure of where I was. And what did I get? My dog Bean nudged me, his head still firmly planted on my hot witch dream man body, snorting. I reached up, still dreaming, and patted his head. "You really are cramping my style. When I wake up from this dream, you better not be drooling on my face." My eyes glanced over Shade's strong muscles one last time, and I rolled my eyes, closing them once again. I could feel a trickle of cold air move up my spine as I woke in my bed, staring directly into a snoring basset hound's face. This is my life. 40 years old, finding out there's magic, and sleeping next to a basset hound as I dream of some guy on the other side of the world. Wonderful. I groaned as I rolled away from the dog and tilted the alarm clock upward, finding it was only 2 a.m. at that point. I was still relatively groggy, which wasn't shocking considering I hadn't really slept well since everything had happened. Pulling the covers back over my shoulder, I nestled back in, hoping that my dream would return, but really just wishing to get some sleep. Just as I began to drift off, the sound of muffled voices echoed from outside of my room. My hands gripped tightly to the blanket, and I opened my eyes, shifting them back and forth. I waited, wondering if maybe, just maybe, I was still halfway in my dream. Just as I was about to relax again, chalking it up to another moment of paranoia, which I'd had a lot lately, the voices rang out again,